Good afternoon to everyone. Welcome to PHCL 102 discussion time. It is not a lecture. The lecture for this topic was delivered weeks ago and then made accessible to you, I think 2 weeks or so ago, unofficially, then officially sometime last week. So you have an introductory lecture, you have a discussion, or if you like, a brief on your course outline. You should be abreast with lecture 1, lecture 2. In fact, there's even a lecture 3 uploaded for you, all of which should be covered by, I think, by the end of the first week or so. You can cross-check that from the course outline. I'm doing quite a number of teaching, so I don't have every teaching immediately with me. Okay, I don't always remember which specific group or course or campus offhandedly like that, but you know that you have a lecture video on what is philosophy. There is one on introducing ethics, and there is another one on informed consent. And it is your responsibility to cover all of them according to the course outline detailing. Okay, there's assessment schedule on your course outline and all. So please kindly do that. And then if you still have questions, you bring it. What we are doing now for our online session is an interactive time. Emmanuel Opoku, please go ahead. Your hand is up.
Please, good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon, sir.
Please, my question is concerning Ajab Bintin's own.
Okay.
The question is, you said, do you have to exercise patient autonomy over normal efficiency?
Yes.
And I want the right answer from you, so that it seems, when I read it, I'm confused.
I don't think you are confused. I think you are intrigued. It is interesting. So you don't know, so should I go north or should I go south? And that's fine. The thing is, I will surprise you. We don't have right or wrong in philosophy. We have a defensible view and an indefensible view. The view that you are able to give a defense for. So if you recall how to do philosophy, the lecture 1, what is philosophy, its approach, the approaches adopted in doing philosophy, the kind of questions we ask, what they address, and all those. Yes, you would see that this is an ethical question. And if it is an ethical question, apologies, I forgot to switch off my phone. If it is an ethical question, we are discussing the question of right, wrong, good, bad. But you know that is already a delicate question. Because what is right or wrong already from start has its challenges. But some thinkers make a case that when it comes to the rightness or wrongness of an act, essentially, ethically speaking, we can have some universal perspectives to it. Others think, no, they are always relative. It means it depends. We are going to discuss that subsequently. When I upload that content, then you can read it. So you can't have the right answer or the wrong answer, because it will always raise a controversy. It will depend on who is defending that view. Okay, if I'm a witness, a Jehovah Witness, for example, that's example there. And I don't know the witness doctrine in detail, but I know that blood transfusion is not typically something that you can ascribe to Jehovah Witnesses. Okay, so if I am a witness, I am convinced, I have a conviction as to why I wouldn't take that blood regardless. So I will be able to make my case. Then you would also make your case. It is a matter of how you are arguing and whether I can give a counter response to what you said. So there isn't like Ejab Bintu should do A or should do B. The doctor, if you want to defend patient autonomy, what are your reasons? Argue for it. Show us why you think that, in such a scenario, we should give priority to the autonomy of the patient and not the paternality of the doctor. Why? So that as you do that, I mentioned in how to do philosophy, I said, whilst you are giving your defensive view, remember that others are listening to you who may disagree. So you raise their own views that they can have against you, the position they can have against your view. You raise it, and then you respond to it. If you know you don't have a response to what they are going to tell you, then it means your view is not defensible. But you can't write only your argument throughout, all the way to the end, and then say that, therefore, I think that we should defend patient autonomy. You see, when you do that, what it will mean is that if another person who disagrees with you raises a view, a counter view, it will weaken your argument. So you should raise it as you give your own positive reasons, the reasons why you think Eja Bentum's view should override the doctor's view. As you give those, outline or identify the possible position, the possible disagreement that someone can raise. I'm trying to use very simple words. A counter argument that others might have against the view that you hold. You should raise it. And then when you raise, respond to it. That's how you do philosophy. So that is what we will measure you by. Not so much whether the view you are saying is agreeable to everyone or not. We can never agree on. Maybe actually, we don't agree on everything, especially ethical issues. But we are able to give a defensible view of why we took A or B. Okay. So you won't get me telling you that this is the right thing to do. It is not church. Okay, you are doing philosophy. It is not politics. It is not mathematics, where 2 plus 3 must be equal to 5 because of the meanings of terms. No. When we are discussing ethically, you have to give us a conviction, convince us by the argument you are proffering. Okay, so that when I say proffering, the argument you are giving, you are presenting, then we can see whether we have loopholes or not. All right. So Emmanuel, that is my reaction to your very important question that sets us up nicely. Nana Boache, next. Then I'll take Raphael. Please, 1086, whatever, kindly put your official names there, respectfully. Go ahead, Nana Boache. Nana Boache, go ahead, please. You are muted. If Nana is busy,
Madam,
let's take. Okay, thank you. Go
Madam,
ahead. Doc, please.
Madam,
Go
please,
ahead.
I just wanted to know where you uploaded the videos because I'm just hearing of it.
Have you gone to Sakai, my dear friend?
Yes, please.
Have you gone
Yes,
to read?
please.
Did you read all the announcements on Sakai? So take
Not
note
all,
of
but
that.
almost all.
You should read all. I didn't ask almost all. I just feel for students, but let's not talk much. Read all the announcements, especially the very early ones, to make your life easier because I just paused though. I would have uploaded about 6 videos or so for just this course. They are all ready. But I noticed that before long, someone will go to the channel and say, Irade, is this how much I have missed out? Then they might be overwhelmed. So I just paused at the third one and then kept sending the channel to people. I kept sending it. I'm sure that those who saw it from the beginning say, oh, this lecture too, we already have the videos, but a lot of people, not a lot as in relative to the class size, okay, but people need that kind of assistance. The same thing you post, the next minute someone is asking. So it is good you have asked. You speak for a few of you, okay? You will go to the site after this one, send me a message. I'm sure you have my WhatsApp number now. You have my email. I can give you the channel straight so that you don't have to go through all the back door. But afterwards, go to Sakai. Sakai is your primary reference. That's why those who were still waiting to be manually added or automatically added to Sakai, I have had to spend the whole of my morning. I came to Mark. I spent all of my morning just adding people manually because the time is not waiting for you. If I wanted to, I would have already opened an assessment so that you do it alongside your reading. Okay. If you would wait till the over 200 or so of you are now added to those who are already there, I currently see about 700 and something students, but I am expecting close to 1,000. So where are the other 20? For main campus only, I haven't included city campus. That can be very stressful when you give information and then more than 300 or so students haven't received it. It is there. My line keeps going on and off, eh? Maybe I should get closer to it. Oh, sorry. Is it better now? Okay, your friend says it's your network. Because I think I'm in the office now. So when we have any such challenge, let me know. But I will remain stable. I won't move myself. Okay. So, my dear friend, please go to Sakai, get the video links. Now, the links are only the alphanumeric, you know, I don't know how to always say that in a simple numbers and figures that have been put together to form a string. Okay. That one is the link. When you go to Sakai, you won't get the whole video uploaded there. There is no space for that on Sakai. Sakai gives us just a limited space, and we are doing online. The videos are many, so you go to Sakai and get the link. And because the videos are many, if you keep giving video one's link, video two's link, you end up having to repeat that. Student will come after you. I don't have the third lecture. I have the third lecture, but I don't have the question and answer session for that one. So then every day you are doing the same thing. So I put all of them on the channel's videos, and then I just prompt you. So if you are subscribed, when I upload, you just get a prompt. That's all. If it is a philosophical questions video, then you go and look at it. If you think you want to look at that discussion, then you look. If you don't want to, you are not forced. You see that. If it is a UGRC 150, you don't think you are interested in UGRC 150. You don't bother to look at it. You can download it if you want to. You can listen to it on air, etc. So it is just one channel link that is there. All videos of the courses I'm teaching are uploaded there. You go there, you pick it. Whether Sakai is well or not well, you go there, you pick it. This is what I have posted there. So you get the link, then you get the topics that we've done. I have given you the link. You want the channel name. If you go and meet someone else, how will you know? It's Dr. Nancy Miles Barford. There's no Barford there. Dr. Nancy Miles. The doctor with a dot. Then Nancy, then Miles, then James. But you should pick the link. Okay, to help you. You get all the videos there. Not that you should just go and learn videos, and then sleep. The Sakai platform offers you all information. Some of you, when you send me a message, you just want me to say, yes, no. Will we have live session today? I say yes. Do you know how many classes I'm teaching? The courses first, then the groups. So if you ask me, are we having a live session now? And I say yes. And then I thought I was referring to group 2, UGRC 150 City Campus. Have I helped you? That's why some of the things when you ask, I say go to the course site. Because for just one course, I may have 9 groups. So if I tell you to go to the course, when you ask me, please, I want the link for group 3. Is it group 3 critical thinking or group 3 philosophical questions? Or group 3, the life I have, my dear friends, let's work that way. Okay, so you make Sakai your friend. You go there for your announcement. When there is a notice on assessment, you see it there. Someone will say, oh, Doc, can't we just post the announcement on the WhatsApp platform? The WhatsApp platform includes several people, those who are lost, who found themselves there, those who are city campus students, those who are main campus students, others who are main campus but group. Currently now we have Tuesday in person, Wednesday in person, Thursday in person, Tuesday online, morning and afternoon. Look at the combination. So when you ask me something offhand, sometimes I read it, then I want to help you. So I say campus, ID, etc. Others to just send me a message and say, please, madam, how are you helping us? How am I supposed to know who you are? By prophetic unction or something? Nothing, no information. I take different campuses. You see? All right. And then the mommy and the ma and sweetie and honey. What is that? All right. That was just by the way to relax us. So my dear Nana Boachi, I think that we will do it that way. Okay. So you can send me a message. I'll give you the channel link straight up. Go, and if you can, subscribe. Just subscribe. Subscription is one of the you students who told me that I can put all the videos there that way. Then it is easier because my Google Drive got full up. I got extra the clouds. You can't load anything there again. This is so convenient for all of us. Just
Yes,
subscribe. Wait, when something is loaded, you get a prompt. You check. Oh, it's UGRC that the lecture loaded. I'm not doing UGRC. You go and sleep. But that one, you don't pay anything for that. I don't think so. All right. Ernest, I'm sorry, there was someone before Ernest. Raphael. Raphael, go ahead with your question, please. Raphael, are you there? Please go ahead with your question. Is my class rep around? Oine, good to have you. Thank you for the prompt this morning. It was helpful. Raphael, go ahead, please. Okay, if Raphael is not ready, let's take Ernest Kobina Beid.
Madam, good morning. Good evening.
Hey. Good evening and morning. The thing is, go ahead, sir.
Madam, are you going to turn down the videos that you've uploaded on YouTube? Or as we've already posted on YouTube, we are not going to do any discussion about it. We just go and read it. And
I'm
that's
struggling to hear you, but I can see that you want to know if I am going to do what about the videos.
Are you going to ponder on the video, or as soon as you post it?
Is who going to ponder? Me? I
Yes.
produced it, so I don't need to ponder over it again. Or if anyone will ponder, it is you, the student. Unless I'm not getting you right. Study the course and I put introductory note as part of the lecture 1 to tell you everything that is already on the course outline, so that we don't use our already small limited time, 6 weeks now, which we have to use to do the 12 weeks content. We will not use that to come and play around, show someone something that is already written there in the course outline. I think you understand. I shouldn't come and tell you, so day 1, we will do this, so assessment will be 10% and then 20%. And then when I've written all of that there, so I have done a video. I have done a video to cover all of that, and I put it as part of the lecture 1. So when you go and you look for UGRC 1, PHCL 102, lecture 1, you will get the introductory bit where it takes you through the course outline. Some of the information there has been updated, because we got the prompt now that we will get venues for our number for the online, the in-person. So we have updated that, but you get the initial posturing of the course, then you know the substantive things that you are expected to have. All the assessments so far, I'm talking about assessment, will be online. The exam will be in person. And then, the groupings things and all that, they are all there. Then I take you to what it is to do philosophy, what the course philosophy is, how it is done, how you write it. They are all part of the content I delivered. Kwame Jechi's view of philosophy. It is integral. You can see it running through almost everything we are doing. That after we do the abstract reflection, we should be able to apply that philosophical view to everyday life and make an impact. Okay. So philosophy hasn't finished its work if we sit on an ivory tower up there and feel all so proud and know that we know X and Y and Z. It must be practically applicable. So all the content there, the lecture delivered, the course outline, the course material. I say material because you can't put everything on PowerPoint. You have to have the hard content, or if not hard, the complete package. Okay, so that you can augment your understanding of what were put in PowerPoint. The PowerPoints are what we used for the lecture video. Okay, so then now your work begins. Then you bring your questions, if any. Even the in-person one, it will be question and answer time like this. All right. So I think you are answered. Pondering over it, no. I don't know if you meant I'm coming to project that slide again and talk about what I've already talked about, and record that also and go and add to your already plenty content. That will not be fair to you yourselves. So the lecture is delivered, you engage it. You read the references alongside the very detailed course outline I have posted for you. It takes a lot of work to do that kind of work. You study it alongside. So you know that by now, you should know topic 1, topic 2, topic 3. The next topic after informed consent is something about business ethics. We are still doing ethics, but this time we are using the business setting to understand deontology and utilitarianism. I am not holding my course out. I'm not looking at anything. I'm not going to write an exam on philosophical questions, but I know it fingertips because I am interested in delivering good content to you. You should be interested in imbibing good content and being accountable for it, and that one you will be. Okay, so that is how I would respond to that query. I would want to take Sir Joseph Appiah now. Then afterwards, I can go to Henry.
Good afternoon, Dr. Mouse.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you.
Please, I just want to give some small, I've been pondering over Ejah Bentum's ethical dilemma.
Yeah.
I want to give my suggestion, my argument.
Go ahead. You can, but be careful so that people don't take your ideas. You never know. So just be strategic about it. But go ahead. We need to hear you. So please do. Yeah.
Okay. So with the informed consent, before there must be the process or the pattern for informed consent, we know that you must disclose it to the care seeker. So with Ejah Bentum's case, he has given the caregiver has disclosed it to him that this is what is going to happen. So we need this and that. And with informed consent, the reason why we do informed consent is to the dignity of the human or the human, right? So since Ejah Bentum has given his informed consent concerning the blood transfusion, which is a no, then I don't think that we should deliberate or we should try to consult the family members or try to think about it, whether it's going to non-malfeasance, the principle of non-malfeasance here. Please, can you hear me?
I hear you clearly.
Yes. So my argument is, since it's informed consent, Ejah Bentum has given his that he doesn't want it, because the reason why we are doing informed consent is to protect the dignity of the human beings. People will say, or they'll try to argue that we are trying to the principle of beneficence, which says that the caregiver must make sure that any treatment should benefit the patient.
Can I just intercept briefly so that you continue? What if Ejah Bentum is just stressed out as part of the ailment? He's wabre, so he's so tired. He says, look, I don't want to. And that he's going to come to himself and say, but that is why I came to your hospital. I need help. So you shouldn't have listened to me because I wasn't in my right frame. Like what I told you about, I think the lecture said that some women will shout their head off because they mean, Wubio, I don't want to give it again. Please, cut it off, cut it off, cut it off. Referring to her fallopian tubes or womb. Cut it off. Kofi Baba, you are so weak. You know that kind of thing. Right after the delivery, Brian, she's back to normal. And so if you listen to people in that state, and then sometimes when people are supposedly nearing death, it's as if case die. I said, Master, so let me go. You know how some people say, leave me, please, I want to go. Why are you forcing me to stay? So if you let the person go, and then or you don't do what you should do as a professional, could it be, I'm just asking questions here, could it be that the person will get back to him or herself and say that, or the people, you can be held liable, that the person is sick if he doesn't want to go by what your institution prescribes for him? Why did he come to your institution? He should stay at home and live by his beliefs and principles and values and die quietly there. But you can't come to my institution and come and mar my records when I know what I can do. Then people will say, I didn't inform you properly. That is why you didn't consent. What about that?
Okay. Okay. So I think the process for informed consent, we realize that there should be comprehension.
Yeah.
The care seeker should understand the terms, the alternatives, and the causes and the outcome.
Yeah.
So if Eja Bentum is not, he's not able to understand, like he's not able to comprehend,
Yeah.
or he's in a state in which psychologically, or he's not able to think straight due to pain he's experiencing, and then I don't think there's a proper informed consent, because the process here, there should be comprehension. Eja Bentum should understand, not because he is in pain or no, but he should understand that this is what is going to happen. So if he's not able to comprehend, then there should be we should wait till he's able to comprehend. And yes, but in the process of him waiting to he's losing blood, or he's
exactly.
dying.
Yeah.
So
you see what you are doing now. So this what you are doing is philosophical. You are looking at the issues, analyzing, opening it out, showing the implications. Who is even going to determine someone who understands something? Understanding is not a shared thing. That's why people can go and stand at the local, and then when they see that they are in trouble, he has poured acid on someone's daughter. And then when they say, hey, why did you do that? The person starts scratching their head. They say, oh, take him out for them to go and examine him. You can't tell a person who is genuinely apologies, and the one who is faking it just offhandedly. Someone say, oh, but we can rely on professionals. Can you trust? Can the professional take a bribe? You see, so it is a very delicate matter, determining that the person has comprehended. We have to assume it and work with it. That's why if the person tells you, like your initial stance, the person tells you, I don't want the blood, and it becomes difficult to determine. That's just one instance. Determine whether, does he really understand what does he know death? Does he know that he's dying? Does he know that this way can help him? Very good responses. I appreciate that. That was from, give me your name again, sir.
Joseph Afia.
Joseph, thank you. Thank you very much. I'll listen to my video. I see several hands and I'm impressed about that. So let's go on. There was Joshua first, if I'm not mistaken. Joshua, let me take Joshua. Then I think I should write it down so I don't lose track. So Joshua, then I come to Henry. Then we proceed from there. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon, sir. Joshua.
Yeah, please. So, looking at the informed decision.
Joshua, you are muted.
Hello, madam.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, what I want to understand is, if Eja Bentum is in your institution,
yeah,
and is seeking for help,
yeah,
and you, the owner, you should do all the best to save his life.
Yeah.
And now that he also has his own view and is losing blood, what do we do?
Yes, that is really what I want you to reflect over. What should the person do? We have shown the tension, the various aspects of the issue. The doctor has to prevent harm, non-malfeasance. Yet the doctor has to ensure that he or she does that which benefits the patient, beneficence.
Okay, so I think all that is needed is to save his life.
Save his life, how? Give me what the doctor should do, or what you are the head of that institution, so you should prescribe what should be done and give us your reason. Do you see that? Think about it. Think about it. It's not a straightforward matter at all, and we want to solicit more views.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Joshua. Let me hear Henry now. Henry, go ahead.
Hello, good afternoon, doctor. Hello. Hello, good afternoon, doctor.
Good afternoon, sir.
Please, this is not about a job into. Please, it's about the approaches in doing psychology from the
Hey,
first.
psycho. Na psycho, they mean come
Hey, sorry, philosophy.
Don't
Yeah,
mind me.
so
Go ahead.
it's about the approaches in doing philosophy. Now, from the video, we're giving two approaches. That is the analytic approach and the speculative approach.
Yes.
Now, we realize that the analytic approach talks about the clarification of language, and then that of speculative approach talks about the systematic inquiry into the reality of a particular situation. So please, I wanted you to elaborate a little on the two.
Which one am I going to elaborate on now? Did you
The
listen to the one in the
approach.
lecture?
Yes, please, very well.
So what elaboration do you want?
So with the clarification of language, what actually, I mean, the language we are going to clarify on, and then that of the
When
speculative
I gave an
approach.
example there. Sorry for interrupting you. I want to help you. That's why. The example I gave there, give me one, showing that the person is doing philosophy from an analytic posturing. How he or she is doing the philosophy is analytic. Give me one of the examples I gave there. You remember? If you have forgotten there, then it's not a question of elaboration. It's a question of I have to go and listen to the tape again. You see? Okay, so if I say, what is the meaning of good?
Life.
You see, I'm asking a philosophical question.
What is good life?
Yes, what is the good life? Very good. Someone said that. Was it Abinadepa or Joseph Appiah? Someone said it. You know, what is the good life? What is right? You see, right. I'm not asking an example of a right act, but what is right? What do we mean when we say an act is a right act? Give me the meaning, the criteria, so that I can use that criteria to identify specific acts of right. You see, when I start asking such questions, I am doing philosophy because I'm asking fundamental questions. Yes. Right. But then what type of approach is that? What approach of doing philosophy is that? It will be called the analytic approach, okay? Because I am trying to seek for clarity in how we are using words, phrases. If I say there is life after death, that is not a matter of language. I'm speculating. But if I say, what does it mean to be free? Meanings. I'm seeking the meaning of free will, the meaning of right. What's the other one? I want those that are less contentious so that you don't struggle at all. It means I'm now dealing with the language, how language is being used. It's not just a matter of whether there is human beings have free will or whether things exist outside of our knowing of them. If I don't know something, doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Those are all speculative matters. Okay. When I do philosophy analytically, it means I engage the language. I seek clarity for how language is being used. So I can be asking fundamental questions as a philosopher, but how I am asking the questions and the focus of my questions will determine whether I'm doing an analytic kind of philosophy or a speculative one. You always use both, but you can have an emphasis where you are examining what it means to call someone a person. When I start doing that, I'm doing analytic philosophy. It means I'm not looking at whether persons have right. I'm now examining the term person. What is the meaning of life? If I ask that question, I'm doing analytic philosophy. Okay, so that is what we mean by language. You are clarifying terms, and it is all oftentimes associated with meanings, language, and its clarity. For us, speculative philosophy is just dealing with, most of the time, not always, metaphysical issues about existence. What is it? What is there? So democracy, not the meaning of democracy. If I say what is the meaning of democracy, I'm doing analytic philosophy. But if I say is there life after death? Do human beings have free will? What's the other one? Absolutism versus what we'll do next? Absolutism versus consequentialism. Should we adopt an action when its consequences benefits a greater number of people, or should we be interested in the rule? If I steal to help the poor, like Robin Hood did, is that right or wrong? I'm speculating. I'm doing speculative, because whether it's right or wrong is not written in print. It is how I am viewing it and reflecting and proposing. Okay, unlike when I am interrogating the meanings of the terms. All right, let me take Henry now. Henry, please go ahead.
I'm done now.
Oh, okay, you just finished. Then kindly lower your hand. Let me get the next person. Was it Janet? Janet, please go ahead. Then maybe afterwards I have to take Joseph. I was taking notes. Janet. Janet, your hand is up, so kindly go ahead. If Janet is not ready, then I would want to take Joseph. Joseph, appear.
Okay, Dr. Mouse.
Yes, sir.
Please, I just want to give a little with the analytic approach.
Yeah.
With what my co-mate said concerning the good life.
Yeah.
So sometimes with the analytic approach, it's like you look at the meaning of some of the terms, the words. So if somebody is being asked what is good life, and the person says that a good life to him is something that gives him benefits. He gains benefit from doing something. So here we look at the can you say looking at the meaning of good life? For instance, if the person says something that brings him benefit, or anything that he does that gives him benefit is good life. So here we are looking at the meaning. So if you do something that gives you benefit, but it is illegal, doesn't mean it's good life.
Yes, please go ahead. Are you asking us to interrogate that, or you are showing that is the approach that we call?
Yes, please. I'm giving my suggestion. What I think is the analytic.
Yes.
So yes, we are just looking at the meaning. You understand? If what does it mean to say something is right? If you are doing what is right, like the meaning, just that's what the analytic approach. If you say something is bad, that does it mean that if it doesn't bring benefits to you, or it brings benefit to you, but it causes loss to someone, or this is what we are looking at the analytic, just looking at the meaning. What is something meaning? We are going deep into the meaning. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's continue. So we will take now, please, when you respond, then you put your hand up so I can get at this also. Thank you so much. So the next person was Mabel. Mabel Tay. My ladies, where are you? When I call you, then, okay, if Mabel is not ready yet, let's take Abdul Ingiza. Abdul Ingiza, go ahead. You are muted. Daniel, you are muted, oh. Okay, whilst we wait for you, let's take Ohene.
Madam. Dr. Mouse.
Mention your name because a lot of microphones are unmuted. Who is speaking? Who is speaking, please?
Mabel.
Go ahead, Mabel. Unmute again and
Mabel.
then go ahead, Mabel. Mabel, let's hear you.
Oh.
Your comment. You are muted,
Dr.
Mabel.
Mouse, please, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my dear. Go ahead, please. I can hear you. We can hear you, so talk.
Hello, Dr. Mouse.
I can hear you, my dear Mabel. Go ahead. Go ahead, we can hear you. Oh, Mabel, I can hear you. Mabel said.
Okay, Madam, please, my question is, Madam, please.
Are you listening to yourself? Just go ahead. We can hear you. Okay. Let's take Ohene. Then we'll wait for Mabel. Ohene, please go ahead.
Hello, doctor. This
I can hear you, Ohene. So just go ahead.
okay. So, madam, with the analytic approach,
Yeah.
can we say that science theories fall under analytic approach? You know, science theory deal with analysis and all those stuff. So, can we say science theories, like let's say the theories of gravitational force, can they also fall under analytic approach?
Okay, thank you for the question. Is it my class rep?
Yes, madam.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure. The thing is, the question has to be a philosophical question. It has to be addressing fundamental beliefs, assumptions. You see, those beliefs, those grounds, suppositions, presuppositions that hold the other beliefs that we have in society. The reason why we want to ensure justice is because we think we know what is right and wrong. So the one who is dealing wrongly with others must not go unpunished. So we think that the right thing is to ensure that the one who is doing the wrong thing is punished. We make an assumption that we know what is right and what is wrong. So the philosopher or a philosophical question will not address issues like what time will we wake up tomorrow, or such questions. It will want to address the fundamental, the belief, the assumption, the presupposition that is holding the system together. Because if we don't have anyone watching the watchman, then what if the watchman is not doing his work well? That's a figurative, illustration I've given you. So the philosopher will ask, what is right? What is justice? What is the right way of organizing human society? Should we prefer the rule over the consequences? Therefore, it's not every question that is a philosophical one. So the scientific theory, is it addressing a fundamental belief, supposition, presupposition, assumption? Is it an ethical one, a metaphysical one? What's the other one? An aesthetic one? What is beauty? When I'm asking what is beauty, it is because the assumption of beauty holds social systems, our buildings, draftsmanship, why someone will keep natural objects, like someone will keep our forests, why we won't do galamsey, all those things may be tied to the question of what is beautiful. What is beautiful to be learning under trees, perhaps. You may be amazed. So if we don't have the right conception of beauty, we will build certain structures on a false assumption. The philosopher's questions are addressed towards the supposed assumptions that we hold in society. We don't come and ask the general questions, but we ask those that are holding, like the pillars that hold all our other beliefs together. And therefore, it is that type of question that we are interrogating. So if we are asking philosophical questions, but they are looking for meaning or clarity instead of speculation, then it helps us distinguish the two approaches. Okay, so it's not every question that falls within this framework, but the philosophical questions can be either speculative or analytic. That's the point we want to make. Okay, and therefore it depends on the scientific theory or claim in question. If we look at the specific claim, we will know whether we will place it under analytic approach or speculative approach. Like if someone says that the earth is in the center of the universe, That is speculative. No wonder it has changed. It has changed. Now we know that it is the heliocentric view, the sun, in the center of the universe, all other planets revolving around the sun. Perhaps it might change again. Why? Because it is not meanings or definitions or a language matter. It is a speculation about what we think exists, what is there. So for such a theory or such a scientific belief, we will consider it a speculative approach of doing philosophy. Okay. All right. Let me take, unless there's a follow-up, let me take Emmanuel Poku say.
Yeah, Madam, please, my question is about Ajabin Team's own.
Go ahead.
I have already asked you about it, but
Okay.
I wanted you to maybe share your suggestion with us.
My suggestion, if I will give a response, it will be based on what I believe, okay? Which must not necessarily be what you believe in, okay? But we are in a fix. My question will be, sorry, go on.
I said, I want you to maybe share your idea so that I'll follow the line.
And I'm saying that if I heard you, Pa, and I was reacting to it. I was saying that if I have to give you my view, I'll speak what I can defend. You see that? And I shouldn't impose what I can defend on you because you may not be able to defend it. You see? So we give you the opportunity to hold your own view. All right? We don't want you to be photocopies of us necessarily. If you are convinced about the argument we are proffering, then you should be able to give your rendition of that argument as you understand it. That's why I gave you all the alternatives. So that based on where the person stands, the person is able to say, I would argue for a defense of patient autonomy over patriarchy. Why? Because of X, Y, and Z. Another person may say, I think that so far as you've gone to the doctor, he is the competent order who is able to tell you the state you are in and who is able to get you out. If you wanted to deal with it yourself, then you shouldn't have come to my hospital. Someone will hold that view. You have to listen to why the person is holding the view he or she is holding and the grounds for it. Not that, I think that even our lecturer said that it has to be the autonomy of the patient first. So me too, I think that is autonomy.
But
that will not wash. Okay, that is not philosophy.
Madam, can I say patient autonomy is like a medical law? Right? According to constitutional law, no one has his own right to maybe to commit suicide or to do whatever you want by your life.
Informed consent just means let me agree for you to give me an A. If I want an A, let it be my choice. I'm a student. Let me decide that. Don't impose your A on me because you don't know what I want to do. Maybe I don't even want to get an A in that course so that my father doesn't force me to do that course. I want to do another one. Maybe I want to play football or I want to do fashion. And they are forcing me to come and do medicine. So I don't even want to get an A. That is why I am behaving the way I'm behaving. You have to respect my freedom of choice. That's what we do for you, but you don't know. We respect you too much to impose a pass on you. When you choose by your own volition, not to do your things in a certain way, we will respectfully give you what you chose for. But if you make an effort, then we see that, then we help. Therefore, my point is, informed consent is just prompting us about that there seems to be, the expression is paternality. It's too big a word for you because the person is the one who is the technical person. He knows what's up, the doctor. So even if you are telling him, but I think the baby is coming, then Antina says, keep quiet and sit down. He just came in. Those who came a long time ago, they haven't started pushing. But the person is feeling it, you see? So you have to listen. Not listen as in go and do everything for the person, but give a listening ear because for all you know, there is something she's telling you, even though you are the boss, but she's the one feeling the pain. So she's telling you, I think the baby is coming. You say, when did you give birth? This is your first child. What do you know about childbirth? I've been delivering people. I've been a midwife for 34 years. 2 fingers, 1 finger. Go and lie down. Before long, you have killed someone's child. So we want you to allow the patient. When I say we want you to, the discussion is where can we give room for the patient to freely determine how he or she is managed in terms of his own health, and where it will be a lapse on the part of the medical professional, if he or she overlooks things and says, he says he wants it, so me, I'm not giving him the medicine. The child says he will not drink the medicine, so me, what should I do? And the pediatrician, frustrated. When you want to give the child the medicine, the mother says, and it's an antibiotic. She has taken 2 days. If she doesn't take the last 3 days, it is gone bad. It's a malaria drug. You have to take the full course. And the people are there, they don't want us to give the child the medicine. So there's a tension, and it's a real difficulty. Okay, so we want you to really grasp the problem, and then now you are a problem solver. You are supposed to respond to issues of life. Not enough to be criticizing other people. What will you do? Now it's time to think. Philosophy trains you to think, to reflect, to respond to issues in a coherent way, in a holistic way, in an objective manner, in a way you can defend regardless. That's where we are. So it will not produce answers. 1 + 1 = 3. 3 + 4 = 7. There you are going. No, that's not philosophy. Life is not like that. Okay. All right. Let's take so there's Janet. Janet, are you okay now? Can you speak? If not, then we can go to Egan. You're doing very well. I like the questions. They're well read. From what is philosophy, then by the time I see Mubukev, informed consent, then we come back. And that is very good. You have engaged the video. Those who haven't, make that an opportunity. You can wait during the night when you have your free night data, then you do the downloads, all of them onto your gadget, and then you take your time to listen. Janet, please go ahead. Janet, please go ahead. Okay, Janet is still not in. Let's hear Egan Dennis.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Doc, please, I want to ask that, does it mean that with philosophical question, it's usually about debate, arguments, expressing and defending one's view to a clearer conclusion?
I think that because philosophical questions aim at shaking the pillars, you see, the assumptions that we hold in our politics, in our religion, in our culture, in our what have you, all the human organizations, because the questions we are asking are trying to shake those foundations, they will elicit responses, and then you will engage that response. So that is what we call argumentative. It means you present a view to show why this one is problematic. What we are doing in Ghana now, is it a democracy? Let me have a take from you. What some of our
Yes.
what some of our folks are doing, will you call it church? I'm just throwing it out. What some of our galamseyers are doing, will you call it work? They're seeking money at the detriment of human life. I don't know any of them, so I speak freely. What is wealth? What does it mean to be wealthy? Why is it that this sister doesn't want to do a quiet wedding, get married? If it's not wedding, let me say a quiet marriage, so that people don't even take me out of context. Quiet marriage with someone that they truly love. They are both matured, ready. Parents know that, oh, these are two love beds. They want to settle down. Can't you do a quiet marriage? Must it be a limousine? When the gentleman's salary, fresh graduate, is 672 Ghana cedis, 10 pesos. And yours is 412 cedis, 23 pesos. That is your salary. You want to do a limousine wedding. Not that you don't deserve it all, but you have it. Who is thinking? Who is reflecting? You want to invite all the people in the world to that place and get 3 limos and get 3 receptions and change your dresses 4 times. The guy's curtain, his curtain is his bed sheet. He's still settling down, but you love him and you are growing and you are doing what you shouldn't do. Who is thinking? Who is reflecting? People, you see? So what I'm saying is, now what we are doing now, now I don't want to get into my element. Is it democracy? What is democracy? Rule of the people. Self-rule. We rule ourselves. Is that what we are doing? Anyway, so the philosopher, I'm reacting to your question. The philosopher reflects, asks this question, says that you say that God says, bring that man. I'm a church person. I don't have issues at all. We are not perfect, but we don't care at all professing it big. But I have a worry when it is as if people want to manipulate. Oh, that's a play card B. Are you sitting down? Why are you not bringing it? Bring the car, bring the car, bring it. If you don't bring it now, oh, why? The blessing is coming. God says I should tell, bring, hey, Brian, stop that. It's witchcraft. It's witchcraft. You can encourage people. But if you are referring to the same text, he loves a cheerful giver. Cheerful. Not a compelled one. The person finishes bringing it, drops the car key. Then when he steps out of the house, I say, hey, so have I given away my car? What kind of giving is that? I think that when I look at your faces, you people, you will marry. Not that I got a revelation now. I think that you match yourself because you are the alto singer and he's the treble singer. So, you have sealed the marriage. Marriage is for life. So who is asking those fundamental questions? When you ask them, you will touch people at places that shake them. So look at all the philosophers, the people that reflect and ask questions about the system. Martin Luther King Jr., Kwame Nkrumah. I don't want to say, but Jesus asked people, the people that were the masters at the time. Do you know the people that killed him? Those who are those of you who do religions. That's why I do a little bit of political science, sociology, what have you, so that we are able to reach out to a lot of us at once. The people that killed him were the people that were worried about how he was, I don't want to use that word, but the way he was touching the system, the running system. That is what philosophers do. But they asked it. When they came to say, the one who has not sinned, they said, who is my neighbor? They said, okay, let me ask you a question. They gave a scenario. Then now the whole people sitting there got a gist. Another scenario, he says, the one who hasn't sinned before, throw the first stone. Why? Because he's addressing, so he's showing people that they have a wrong conception of what constitutes sin. The foundation is sick. Such people, you will attract attention, sometimes angry attention. That's what Socrates did. You saw him in level 100, I'm sure with Eric. You are already in 200. You saw him in first semester when you engaged. Yeah, he was killed. If you didn't see Socrates, no problem. Just Google Socrates, how he was killed. Because he will accost people. I said it in the lecture. He will find you in the middle of the way and ask you cry. You say you are the chief justice. What is justice? And then before long, he has embarrassed the person because the person is applying a concept that doesn't perhaps hold for every instance of justice. So if we clarify the foundations, we will get a better. That is why philosophical questions elicit response. It attracts a certain question. Martin Luther says, why is it that some people can get us? Why should I go and confess to another human being? Are some people more human than others? By the same scripture, not outside of it. You see, so when we keep doing that, we are able to shake. You see the champagne, they ask him, like I said in the video, why is it that you yourself, you are not accompanying Nana to the other world? Because we need Nana. Nana is the chief or king who has passed away, for example. So we say we need human heads to accompany him. You need a philosophical mind to respectfully and humbly, but directly ask a question. What are these people going to do in the other world? Don't say there is no other world. That is against people's faith. Okay? And don't say, oh, these things are not important. Don't say that. Just ask questions. And ask to clarify. And then if it is because we need someone to accompany Nana, king doesn't move alone and all that. Then, I think you are the best person to go with Nana. You know what time he has to eat, which cloth he will use to go to the Deba in the other world and all that. So when you go, then your wife too, Champagne, your wife must continue. You propose that and see, with a lot of respect, see whether that belief will ever remain again. So my sister, that is the answer. That is why philosophical responses generate counter responses. And if you are very, very, I want to speak in a way that won't confuse you. If you have defended the view that you are holding, it's not just some gullible thing you have swallowed, but you know what you are. Then you will speak like Paul did. Say, I'm persuaded. So you are doing the thing with conviction. You understand that these are the matters around it. That is why even if the marriage is shaking left, right, center, you are stable. If it is faith and it is shaking, you are stable. If it's a political party and it looks like we are going back and forth, you are convinced about the foundations of that party. You are stable. It will attract debate, disagreement, because you are proposing something perhaps that others don't agree with. So that is what we mean when we say philosophical questions are argument. They generate argument. They generate responses. Not that people just sit down and then they start and they are engaging things that will make people fight. No, it is the nature of what you are doing. The question you are asking will shake foundations. Some churches will change their doctrine. They won't say that you have to cover your hair before you pray, because you may just ask a very innocent but very philosophical question. That, so if I'm falling into the ditch, I'm a lady, but I'm going to fall down. My car is going into the ditch. Should I go and look for my scarf before? This devil's box that you say you shouldn't watch computer or TV, then how then will we sell our crusades out? You see, if you ask that question, someone will say, I think this our trouser thing, we should hold on a bit. Let's rather emphasize decency. People should be decent. I can wear blouse and be so indecent. I can even wear this borrowed hair and it will be so gangalistic. That's when you can't even see the three people in front of me. Only my hair like that. It's woman's hair, but now it's covering everybody's, blocking everybody's view. That is still not modest. So can we stress modesty and decency rather than emphasizing what man or woman's clothing? When you ask such a question, it is touching on some foundation. People will say, well, sorry, the person has come to change it. When we come to political parties, can we say, we are liberal, what's the thing? We are social democrats. But can we allow, individuals to also set up their businesses and give them room to operate without so much interference? Before long, people will say, you are changing our party. We are not a so-and-so party, we are so-and-so party. But can you ask fundamental? So when those things are going on and it is eliciting responses, you have give a response and then it's counter response. Okay, that is why philosophy has that posture, as if it's argumentative. You say debate, you say give a view and take a response and counter response. It is aimed at bringing out a better alternative. I'll ask you questions that are practical like this. You see how long how long I answered or I responded to your question. There's a reason why. If I asked you to respond to some of the critics who label philosophy as maybe abstract or as overly argumentative, how will you react to it in practical examples in not more than one page for 30 marks? And you understand that I wasn't wasting airwaves. I was trying to help you use different perspectives, political, cultural, religious, environmental, scientific, just so that you can get content. All right. Let's take another person. I think I can take Precious. Precious, go ahead.
Doctor. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Doctor.
I can hear you, Precious. Go ahead.
Okay, so please, I wanted to talk about the Bintu's issue to give my suggestion or how I think about the issue. I think I would take the patient autonomy over the principle of non-maleficence, because one, it's the patient's life. And then when we spoke about the informed consent, is about what the caregiver is going to give to the patient. And now the patient is saying no because he has his own reasons of saying no. Now one would say that probably maybe when he's a breadwinner of the family, and then his family needs him the most. That is why the family has agreed to sign for him so that he would be given the blood transfusion. Or maybe probably if the doctor obeys
Precious, I'll let you continue.
And then he dies.
Precious, I'll not let you continue. People also conspire to kill the relative intended because of check. He won't die so that we share the property. No. He won't die so that we share the property. Sister Precious. Yeah. So I want your reaction. Some people, they will be sick, rich man, 96 years. You have enjoyed all this life. Eh? Yeah, especially when he has showed people his will. You don't understand. 96. Oh, would die. 6 months. All the family properties that he has, the resources, the money and all. Do you know why I'm speaking that way? I want to open everybody's mind so that we look at things from all that perspective. He won't die. Then today, the hospital he's in,
yes,
$600 a day for the life support. So all the resources available, the business, everything is just can be. He's 96 years old. The vegetable. That's how they address him. So if you are not careful and you don't listen to the man, you listen to that firstborn son who is in a hurry to marry. He's in a hurry to marry and take over the business and save his father's the money. So it is a dicey matter. It is very dicey. It's not a straightforward matter like that. Okay, you continue. I just gave you another perspective. Continue, my dear.
Okay, so in a case like that, let's say that if maybe it was a planting, if I think that it's a planting, or in a situation where it's a planting for the family to just sign up because you know that probably he's going to die. But now I think it's against his faith, because as he has said no to it, you made a suggestion when the other guy says something that maybe he's in a situation where he's in pains. That's why he said that he does not need the blood transfusion. Now here again, here's a case where we have to critically let him know the reasons why he's going to need this blood transfusion, and then what it's going to do for him. Now he's in the best position to decide on what he wants because it's his own life. And then I think in the doctrine it is said that what you are giving quality services to the patient, and then not what you think is good for the patient. For example, maybe the person is allergic to paracetamol, and then you are saying that paracetamol is the only thing that can help him. It means that you are infringing on the person's right as a patient, and then you're also putting yourself in trouble because he knows himself best more than anyone else does. So I think, in my own opinion, I think the patient's autonomy should be taken.
Oh, dear. I wish I could say +1, but not yet. I want to know you people well before I start doing that. The thing is, my sister, the man may not be in the right frame of mind. You forget that bit. He might not be in the right. I told you about the woman in labor. A woman in labor and how they behave. Cut it off. I don't want the womb again. I want a yadodo. You see, right after delivery, then she ask you, where is my womb? And then when you say, but you said, he said, you are laughing. The ladies, they are like that. Even when the guy hurts him today, then he says, I don't like this man. I don't want the marriage again. Blah, blah, blah. That's marriage. So it's even different. But health, when we are doing health, you want to be very careful when you claim that the patient says, I want X or Y. The child will not take the medicine. You say, it is the patient's autonomy. Therefore, you respect it and not give the medicine.
No,
There's a bit tricky. But when the person is an elderly person, he says, I won't take that, I want to die. If you want to die, why did you come to my hospital? I also answer to see, I also answer to the society. The society must have confidence in me that when they come to that institution, we will take care of them well. So when you come and we are giving you, if you want to die, then stay at home and die. So that after your home, when you die, it's the police that will come. And do the sort. Yeah, we sort it. Okay, my dear sister. So think about it very well, what I'm saying. I see a lot of chat. I'll keep the chat, but very good. I think you're a strong individualist. You make a case for freedoms, and it's fine. Okay, that is the case for autonomy, for informed consent. But the doctor also has to ensure beneficence and non-malfeasance, whilst at the same time ensuring that it preserves the patient's autonomy. That's where we are. Good input. Let's take Tonyo Mabel. Precious, well done. Tonyo, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Doc.
Good afternoon. Please go ahead.
Doc, please, what if the doctor doesn't, have you seen, they have to sign an agreement. If Eja Bentum agrees to the transfusion, he has to sign an agreement. What if he refuses to sign, but then the doctor sees that this one, at the end of the day, he has to give him the blood transfusion for him to live? What if he doesn't care whether, not that he doesn't care, but then he goes ahead and gives him the blood transfusion and he survives, he doesn't die? At the end of the day, will he be held responsible or will he be punished for saving his life? That's my question.
My dear sister, come again, eh? I got distracted a little, but I'm listening. So please ask the question again.
Doc, please, I said, what if Eja Bentum has refused to take the blood transfusion? But then the doctor has seen that it's only the blood transfusion that can save him. So he goes ahead with the blood transfusion and saves Eja Bentum. At the end of the day, would the doctor be punished for going against the autonomy of the patient or what? That's my question.
Yes, the doctor can be punished, yes. He can lose his license.
But he has saved the patient. Why should he be punished again?
Then every doctor will just look at your face, then you go. And you say he has seen you. He has an ethical obligation to ensure that you are not hurt. That's what I keep stressing. It's not just informed consent, but he's supposed to ensure beneficence. Have you seen that bit of the lecture? Beneficence. Yes, he must also ensure non-malfeasance. So do all you can to benefit the patient, and then do all you can to avoid causing harm. Can you see that? So it is that ethical dilemma that we are trying to engage. He has to do that is where he is. Make sure he's not hurt, but don't infringe on his right. So the person says, I don't want you to help me. This one I don't like. If you let him go, you are in trouble as a doctor. So it's a tension. Someone will say, like you are saying, but he says he doesn't like it, that's why I let him go. Then he comes to himself and says that, but I was sick. If I didn't like it, wouldn't I come here? I was even psychologically derailed. That's why I made those comments. And then you left me to die, or you have left me to have a worse case than I brought in. What will you do?
Okay.
So I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but you have to engage those aspects of the discussion. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So, Doc, what if at the end of the day the patient survives and then he has seen that though he disagreed with the blood transfusion, but the doctor did it and he survived, and then he's appreciative, would the doctor still be punished?
He will not. He will not. He will not. But then sometimes, you will check yourself. Okay. Sometimes I told you about the lady who was shaved for labor, and then the baby was delivered safely without any infection, but she took the institution to court because they took away her pride, her court, such that is what shows that she is there. I think like it's a sign of her authority. Shaving her without her permission was against her very religious beliefs. She lost her place as the queen or something of her society.
Okay.
So you can have that scenario. The outcome was good, but the person says that the rule you adapted wasn't good. What do you think about that? Good reactions. Let me take Joha. Joha, go ahead.
Hello, madam. Good afternoon. Hello, madam.
Go ahead, I can hear you.
All right, madam. Madam, I would like to make a reference, like talk about an example about the woman who had brought the baby to the hospital, like who had just given birth, and then after 2 injections, the woman can't see to look like at the baby while the baby is suffering. So the woman doesn't want to allow the 3rd injection. Now, at this point in time, is it the woman who is the patient or the baby who is the patient?
If a baby comes to the hospital, if the person is a baby, you can't even bank account under 18 years or under 16, depending on the name.
So that means the woman.
Someone must do it in trust. Can I finish, please? Someone must do it in trust. In trust. Just obey mama nipa no. You speak a little tree.
Yeah, I speak a little tree.
So sometimes obey mama no. You know.
Okay.
And that is
okay.
That's why you can't take the decision for the little baby if their parents are alive.
On your own. All right.
Yes.
Okay. So then that means if the mom is supposed to stand in for the baby, okay. And you know, mothers have this compassion for their baby.
Yeah.
And the mother doesn't want to accept she doesn't want to agree for the doctor to make the 3rd injection.
Yes.
Can't there be a way whereby the doctor can like deem the mother not fit to decide for the baby and then just inject?
We are back where we started. That's the question we are.
Hello, madam.
I'm listening to you, Pa. I said we are back where we started.
Yeah. So without of the case on the lecture note, you said the man. I think the name has skipped me. He having uphold the he having to uphold the patient's autonomy and then the hospital's malfeasance. I for one think he could refer the person to a psychiatric place and then let those doctors deem Ejabentum physically fit to process whatever that he has discussed with him or not.
Okay,
if
I think
I
get your drift. Yeah, I get your drift. So that
if they deem him,
I get you. Yeah.
If they deem him not fit, then that means the injection can go, like the transfusion can go on, because already the family wants the transfusion to go on, but the man doesn't want because of some religious attributes or some religious stuff's going on.
Is it because it is religious?
So if they deem him not fit, hospitals also have lawyers, right? No, I think it's a religious reason. That's why he doesn't want.
I'm saying that
maybe it's a religious reason.
Okay.
Maybe it's his own reason. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, maybe he's a Jehovah's Witness.
Should I play the devil's advocate again? I mean, that's my thing I'm doing. So what if the psychiatrist takes some bribe from the family and says that the man, and then condemns the man, even if I'm mentally not all right? Does it mean you should take my property? ask me to go ahead into the other world. Don't we have a lot of, excuse me, mad people on the street?
No.
And so come again.
Yeah, we do have a lot of.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so madam, this is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Now, supposing you are the doctor, okay? Supposing you are the doctor.
Yeah.
If you go against the wishes of the patients, you are in trouble. Now, if you break a bond you have sworn or an oath you have sworn, you are in trouble.
Yeah, that's one, yeah.
So what do you do? Good. So now what do you do? The only way you can avert both troubles from the two different sides is passing through the right channel. And I see that the right channel would be for the psychiatry of the hospital, deeming the person fit or not. So whether the person took bribe or the person didn't, you would be out of the hot zone.
Okay. Then
you are just doing what you are medically
I just want to interject a bit.
by profession.
So, no problem. So why don't you then ask the person to kindly sign that he or she doesn't want that procedure to go on. And then he doesn't want to leave your hospital either. He wants to be there, but he will not want the hospital sanction for their inability to ensure what. Why wouldn't you take that approach also? That way, aren't you looking out for the patient's interest at the same time looking out for your own interest? What do you think?
No. If you take that approach also, then you are becoming selfish. At the end of the day, you are not looking out for the hospital's interest again. So you will still be in trouble.
Are you sure?
I'm very sure.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying that when you ask the patient, I'm coming. Maybe you didn't get me. Okay. I tell the patient that, look, this is what I could have done to help you as an institution, but you think it goes against your beliefs or your assumptions, whatever they are, or it might make all your money drain out, the money you have earned. The day you take blood into your system, someone else's blood, maybe you got it through some channel. They said, don't take anybody's blood. If you take it that day, all your family people, plus yourself, plus your money will disappear. Let's give that dramatic scenario. So you don't want, the hospital doesn't want you to die on them or your situation to become worse on them. You are the doctor in the middle of this. What will go wrong if you tell the patient that, please sign here to show that I told the doctor that I will not take blood, and I don't want the hospital sanctioned for this.
The thing that will go wrong is when the person has an heir to his will, and then later there's a case that you coerce the person to sign. Okay. I'm saying this because
it's right. I'm saying this because it's right. I'm convinced. Don't worry. Don't even bother. So those who may be thinking of that option, just like the earlier one that I played the devil's advocate there, I said, you would say, but he himself says he doesn't want the medicine. Then later on he will tell you, no, I wasn't well. I wasn't well at that time. That is why I was behaving that way. The scenario we have just created, Joha and myself have created, will have the same, features. The patient could tell you that I signed, yes, but under duress. Still, because I didn't know what was going on then. I was black. I was in some clouds. Or the patient can tell you that you threatened him, that you don't want it to be the hospital's issue. So you should sign. So you just have to sign and lie down and wait to die. So I just use that to help it come out for your colleagues who are listening. That if you take this position, these are the possible counter responses we will get. If you take the alternative one, these are the possible counter responses you will get, so that you are able to make an informed decision as to what you would have done. You have to answer my question. Because what would you have done if you were the head of the ethics committee of that hospital and you have to write down a statement passed on to the doctor for the doctor to know what to do? You have to make a decision. It's not be like, let them decide. If that scenario, I don't know what to do. Yeah. Make that decision so that you will qualify to be an ethical consultant one day. Okay. So thank you very much, Joha. Nice interactions.
Thank you very much, madam.
I want to take Some have spoken, so if you could just put your hands down for a while, I'll call you again. But let's take those who haven't said it. Raphael, Rahel Ajay, I've seen quite a number, not many, but 1 or 2 people who ask, hey, I'm confused, what is going on here? We are reflecting on the lecture delivered. So if you haven't gone to the course site at all, or something like that, for whatever reason, you just listen to that. This is being recorded, we'll add it to it, but go find the videos that have been placed there for you since time immemorial, okay? And engage them. You will do fine, but that is why I haven't added any, okay? It is that lecture we are reflecting on. 3 lectures put together how? From what is philosophy, we introduced ethics, then we are now engaging a practical ethical question. That is what we are doing now. So you will do fine. It is the lecture and then the questions that were asked that we are reflecting on now together. Some are for it, some are not for it. Some are showing why we should give the patient priority. Others think that no, it is the doctor. Because we are in our institution, you have come there. Some think that it is a blend. Something if it's just religious, we can let it go. Others think, no. Someone might say, why are you worried I'll die? Leave me. I see heaven open. The Son of Man. Do you remember Stephen? Yeah. And the Son of Man is welcoming me home. The world is too hot. So he or she is even in a hurry to go, genuinely. And you want to give him blood to me. Is it your decision? So all those aspects are there. And as philosophers, they are reflecting on that so we can advise properly and show where we may go wrong. There's another one on pharmaceutical company which wrongly gave out some drugs. I give all those practical questions out to you. You will do philosophy as what? An existential response. You reflect conceptually, but you respond to problems of existence. So that is how we do it. We are not coming to learn what Socrates said and Plato said and Aristotle said. Who cares about what those fine gentlemen said? We have been studying that since time immemorial. What will it do to anybody? When we learn what they said, then now we want to see how it applies in everyday life in resolving problems of existence. That's philosophy. I will ask you that also, what I've just said. What is philosophy? Okay, from Kwame Getty's view, I will ask you, I've said it too. Judas, you will betray me, or Peter, you will deny me 3 times. He was told, yet he took it for granted, and it happened. So I'm telling you, I will ask you, learn what is philosophy. According to Kwame Getty, find practical illustrations to make the point he makes. That you study philosophy conceptually, reflect on them as if it's abstract, the concept. And whatever we learn dealing with problems of existence. Okay, so have that posture when you are studying philosophy. Amu Owusu Sandra, my dear sister, go ahead. I want to take a question now. Amu Owusu Sandra, please unmute your microphone. Go ahead.
Madam, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Friend me, doctor. I am a pepper. Go on.
Okay, Madam, please, I have the question. My question is that.
Also, the Madam.
Hey, doctor. Doc, please.
Yes, my dear. Oh, go ahead. I just want you to laugh. Go on.
Please, if a woman goes to the hospital.
Yes, please.
If a pregnant woman goes to the hospital, and then she's being told that she doesn't have blood, and this woman is from the Jehovah's Witness community.
Yes.
In that she doesn't accept blood transmission.
Yes.
But then the baby she's carrying is a state property, so we can't watch the baby to die.
Which baby is this state property?
The baby is a state property because.
How? I just want you to put flesh to it. Yeah. Please come in.
Every person has the right to live, and this baby is also included. So if the blood transmission is done, this baby could live. But if the woman rejects it, the mother herself and the baby could die. So over here, what is the doctor supposed to do to save both the baby and the mother? If there are some situations the mother doesn't want it, we accept, but then the baby is a state property.
That one is what I don't understand clearly. I wanted clarity on when you say that the baby is a state property. Do you want to put some content to it? What do you actually mean? Like maybe the state actually give birth to the baby or something.
Okay, Doc.
Yes,
And I think the baby is a state property because after he or she has been brought to bed, the baby has the right to leave.
So are you
Yes,
talking
the
about
baby has
all
the right
babies
to
or
leave.
just some babies?
All baby have the right to leave. It's our right. It has
Oh,
to
I
leave.
see. Maybe I don't know.
Yes, it's our right.
Do you remember
So,
Rosemont Bonnie's thing?
Dog, please.
Do you remember Rosemont Bonnie? If you are Pimpolo.
Yes, yes.
Are you giving a scenario like hers?
Yes, you see, if she thought the baby is a property, so she could do anything with the boy. But then the authorities said she was wrong and that the baby is so young, he's underage to be exposed to such things. In that, like indirectly, it tells us that the baby is a state property. So therefore, if the woman rejects the blood transmission, what should the doctor do?
Okay. My dear sister,
This
is the big issue you have brought to? Reflect on it because it's very dicey. Hey. You know how some uncles will say, "Oh, this is my niece. I took care of her." Man, what I say? Oh, man, I'm sure I took care of her. Oh, it's good. So if I mean, when we take care of her, you can say when we rear chicken, don't we eat some? If you have go there, we need kakra. It's a kakra. I'm speaking figuratively. So the person thinks there shouldn't be anything wrong with enjoying my own daughter. In quotes. Then the state will come. State, like our sister just said, the state will come and say, the baby is your daughter, but you cannot, what you have done to her currently is not against her, it's against the state. So they say the state against Mr. Asimesi or Benten for causing, for raping the child. Rape is not between you and the person you rape, it's between you and the state. Just like killing, manslaughter, maybe not manslaughter, but murder. Okay, so this is a little bit outside the scope of informed consent, but it's an ethical issue that helps us open out our discussion a bit more. That is why I have touched on them. So reflect on it, my dear sister, and use it to build your argument. I will ask you a question on that, like I've said already. Okay, very good. That was Amu Sandra. Let me take Kukua Perpetua. I'll take your reaction. I want to react now. I think I've thrown in a lot of perspectives to the informed consent debate. Then you see why it is an ethical issue and why there might not be a straightforward yes or no to any of the positions. But you rather argue and then you convince your listeners. You convince the doctor and the patient and people like those who issue the license as to why you took this position and not the other one, like happens at the court. And then you even anticipate the possible counter responses that will come from your opponent and respond to them to show that even if you asked me this, it is because of X, Y, or Z. I think I had that with Joha. But if it is this and that, then our options are this and that, and not that. And that is why in such a scenario, if it should ever happen, I think that this would be a more defensible view. You don't say this is the only way to go. That one you have to correct. It's a language matter. It cannot be the only way. But it is a more defensible view, given that we are looking at the consequences, not the rule. Some will say, no. If I were looking at the rule, then it is wrong to infringe on people's rights, regardless of what you gave them ultimately. So I will go for deontology, not consequentialism. That will be our next topic. So I will engage the lecture on that, uninterrupted for you. Okay. Let me take Kukwa Perpetua. I see 7 hands up. I'll take all. Kukwa, go ahead.
Doctor, please, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please, with philosophical questions, would
Yes.
you be asked to debate on both sides? Because
I have showed you what I will ask you, yes. Not necessarily debate. I don't like the word debate.
Okay,
argue.
like
Argue. Assess the view that informed consent can never be achieved in medical practice. Assess,
because looking at
critically examine, evaluate. Are you listening? Analyze. When I ask you those questions, analyze the view or critically examine the position that informed consent cannot be achieved in medical practice. When I say critically examine, you are not going to narrate stories. You are going to tell me what informed consent is, what the challenge is to pursue that, how you respond to that challenge, and then you take a position. Yeah. And people do brilliantly well. I'm marking essays for level 200. It's awesome, generally speaking, but there are still the remnants. So, yeah, but generally nice. And people are thinking and reflecting and giving perspectives. So it's not a one-way storytelling. I said, listen to the introductory lecture where you come and narrate. And that time, Descartes was sick. And Socrates' friend said that he shouldn't go. And he went. And then they brought him the thing to share. I Google. That's not philosophy. You're not telling us stories. We can Google and find it. So we don't, applaud you for how you are able to tell us a story that we can all go and find. We are interested in how you are able to contribute to the discourse and help to open out matter. That is what philosophy is. That's why there aren't many whatever like that. But look at any philosophical, I think of our blessed Savior as a philosophical figure, as a pulled down all the structures and built his own, that we have all been saved now. All right. So Kukwa, that is the thing, It's not debate. Debate here, exchange, it's argument. The word is to argue, to present a view, a reason why this is better than that. Then you anticipate the possible counter. I've said that over and over and over again, counter view. Then you respond to that also. So you must be well read. You should know the content proper. Then now you can start doing your philosophy of it. Okay, and you will see how it will have an impact on all the other disciplines that you are engaged in. Look at all the people who are brilliant in philosophy. We have two American, two people are already out going to. You become rich, seasoned. You have depth. You are not just narrating and reporting and parroting what someone said. You are reflecting and proffering solutions, responses, because you are diagnosing well, examining well, assessing. All right. So it is a training, and that's why from the onset, look at what we are doing now. You have the lecture, so you know the content, and now we are thinking through together and looking at, and I said, if you say it this way, this person could also say this way. They say, no, but I think that this is the reason why this, then we come to a certain resolved position. Not for everyone. You have yours, I'll have mine, but I have a reason why I take that position. That is how you do philosophy. Philosophy is done. It's not necessarily read. It's not a story. It's done. You do it. Okay. I'll take Michael Tete. Thank you, Kukwa. Michael, go ahead.
Good afternoon, doctor.
Good afternoon, sir.
Please, with Ejabintum's issue, I think we can, after explaining the procedures and everything to him, we can analyze his mental conditions to know whether he's in a stable condition or not. And after knowing his stance, like mentally, we can know whether his decision, like maybe if he's going to go through with the blood transfusion, is like he's in the right sense agreeing to that, or he's not in his right sense. I think we can also do that, and we can engage him in an interactive conversation to know about his religion and everything. I think that's what I think is good for him.
Okay, so my reaction would be like the earlier one. I mean, what we have said over and over again, okay? So if you think through it, you see, it's the same concern that can be raised, that when we go and get the expert, there's the one who can look at their psyche, can we trust then the doctor should go ahead. We don't even need a psychiatrist any longer. Because the same questions we are asking of the doctor, we may have to ask of the psychiatrist. So maybe you say, well, then we should just trust the expert, what the expert says, and then deliver what we think we can. Okay. So think around it. That could be a possible counter response. Great.
Okay.
Can I take, thank you very much. Can I take Craig now? I hope I pronounced your name well. Usumenu Craig.
Yes, please, madam.
Please go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Madam, I second to the point you earlier made in the sense that the hospital is an institution. I'm speaking. I want to talk about Mr. Ejabentum's case. Yes, and the hospital is an institution whereby, like, the well-being of individuals with regards to health. So once you have come to the hospital for treatment,
why are they do? Can we my doctors? No, what if no more? You criticize almost. I don't want you confused.
Yeah.
Okay, please continue, sir.
Yes, so madam, since they cease to the well-being of, if you want to, let's say, get healed for whatever you are suffering, be able to at least, yeah, like, I don't know how to put it through, like, you have to allow yourself to, for the doctor he can to save your life. If not, then your people must just keep you in the house so that you patiently wait for your time. Yeah, I think that's my take on that. But because sometimes he might be mentally unconscious, who knows? We have to just according to what he will suggest.
That's why they do that to us. So they say, cut that womb off. Cut it off. The woman, she has given birth 10 times. All of them is cesarean section. All her wombs, if you are not careful, she will die. You say,
yes,
for someone was brought in emergency, you know.
Yeah.
Emergency. I from city campus, main campus. Okay.
Yes, so madam, that's my take on
The
that.
person has a trouble, maybe an accident. They rushed him in there. And he said we should do informed consent. And there they are. You see the way I am.
You know, easy,
That's why
madam.
my friend who was asking me that, so what is my take? So that I know how to. I said, maybe I don't have a take.
Yes, so I was also
yeah.
I was also waiting patiently for your take so that I second to
if
that.
I do that, I didn't do philosophy. I just became a politician. You see.
Okay, madam.
People develop their because they might rather impact you. They might say something that they, oh wow. Then you now think with a wider, perspective or point of view than what you knew earlier. That's Socrates' approach. He will come and be asking as if he didn't know anything. What they ask. That is how you do it. So you don't go telling students, so this one in this scenario, you have to take this and that and that. Are you? Yeah, I'm a spiritual person. Some of the things we catabro our way through. Different fact. So you say, I'm still will come, madam. I learned the thing. You teach him if P then Q, P there for Q. The next minute the person is writing the opposite. Some of them say, so you make another angle. We believe in that. So you want to make sure that you give all those possibilities. Allow people to reflect. Thank you very much, Craig. Good input. Then I think I can take the other two people have already spoken, but it's okay, their hands are up. So let's take Joseph first, then I'll take Janet. And if there are still more hands. Hey, where did the hands all of a sudden come from? Hold on, Joseph and Janet. Let me take Enoch Aboma. He hasn't spoken at all. Then I'll come back to you. Go ahead.
Madam, please, some of us are having another class.
Oh, but this is not a compulsory thing. Oh. It's a question and answer session.
Oh,
why?
okay.
We will close in the. I have to go and pick my little boys at school and the girl. So it's okay. I see hands up, so I'm rather indulging you. Okay, so let's take that and then you can log out freely. It won't do anything, please. Okay, those who have to go, please go ahead. If you have a question, I can give you a little bit more of my time. About my Enoch, it's still 3:23. I can do up to 25 or 30 minutes. Please go ahead, sir. Enoch, please go ahead. Okay, maybe Enoch is having a difficulty.
Hear me?
Oh, yes, I can hear you now.
I'm saying that looking at the scenario on the ground, the patients and the and every institution has a code of conduct that
Very good.
govern the institution. So I'll argue that since you are coming there, you want something from the institution. So
Yes.
since you are coming there, your desire, you want something from the institution, you are to obey the code of conduct of that institution.
Yeah.
So I don't see why someone coming from outside, you come all of a sudden, you want to tell the institution to bend their rules to your favor. So I don't think that would be good. The patient should know that, and if you can't comply with the code of conduct of the institution, you should stay home and whatever will be the consequences.
Yes, okay, so I think that we should soften it a bit. The person who also came to the institution came there because of what you said you are selling: life, health, well-being. So we have to massage it in so it will fit nicely. So maybe at the entrance, or if it is labor, when the person started antenatal, you lay out all your rules there. Here, if we do a cesarean session for you, we will give you blood. If you will not take it, then we can't do it here. So you let the person
madam.
know. So that can be a question, so that when it gets there, it's not just blood. There are a lot of aspects of some people don't eat certain things. They will not let you shave them. The baby is coming out. You say, I will shave. You two have brought your thing there. They don't cut. I don't want anybody's body plant fence into my system. I don't take preconam pork meat. Meanwhile, the medicine has a mixture of pork oil and something. But if you take it right now, the disease will go. You said, hey, this one is a component in it. No, I don't eat sessile. If they use lobster to do that herbal medicine, then I'll not take it. I mean, you can open it wide. We just want one that is very easily accessible to all of us. That is why we are talking that way. Not always religious. Some of them is a posturing. Yeah. Let me hear you. I really have to. Yeah.
Looking at everybody, what you just said, I can also counter attack what you just said. You see, the philosophy, they don't have, like, you can't suggest, you can't assume the suggestion that you bring, because someone can also counter attack the suggestion.
Yeah.
So even looking at the case of democracy, we
Yeah.
are saying that but today, look at the kind of situation we are in now, and we are saying that we are doing that, whereby leaders can decide for us. Instantly, we can see that current affairs, what is in the evidence issue, the flying of the private jets, it's causing a whole lot.
I get you. Thank you so much. So that is our friend's reaction. So that I can take all the comments, then we can react maybe the next session like this, next week, God willing, in person. Let me just listen to each person. We can do that in about a minute. Just give your reaction. I won't say anything. I'm talking to those whose hands are still up, and then we round up nicely. Then please make it a habit to read notices on Sakai, and then subscribe so you can get prompts. I will always update the resources. Okay, let me take I'll take Rahel Ousu, I'll take Joseph Apia, I'll take Janet. Okay, so just let us hear you. Want to hear your voice. Now first.
Hello, madam.
Yes, my dear.
Hello, madam.
Go ahead.
Please, I wanted to say sometimes it's not always following the code of conduct in every institution. Sometimes you have to break the code of conduct for something to benefit everybody. So it's not always you have to follow the rules. Sometimes you have to break the rules for everybody to benefit, for the situation to benefit everybody.
Okay. When we do the next topic, you will see consequentialism versus deontology.
Yes.
See how the deontologists will react to what you said. Okay, very good. Let's take Emmanuel Opoku. Just your comment so that I can round off nicely. Go on.
Madam, please, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Please, let me use myself as example. Let's assume that I used to complain of my head, that I have a headache. And whenever I take meat, para and kafadi, it will go and come. And my parents decided that, oh, let me send you to hospital. And they sent, and the doctor examined me, he said, you recommending or administrating another drugs for me. Please, are you listening?
I'm listening, pa. I just stretched a little.
Okay. You recommend another drugs for me? And I said, no. Whenever I have this issue, when I take para and kafadi, it will go. So I don't like anything
So
again.
why did you go to
And
the
he said,
hospital then?
my
I
parents,
can't shut up.
I was forced by my parents, and my parents said I should take it. I said no, and the doctor said, okay, then let me give you the para and the kafadi you wanted. And when she gave it to me, then when I take it, I fall sick or I die. Did my parents have right to sue the doctor? Or?
If you rather maybe God forbid you didn't die, but then you got some deformity or something, you are alive, you could sue. But as for the parents, like you yourself said, they took you there. So if they knew that you want this option, but if they impose the other option on you, then they won't be able to. But you could say that I told you I'm an adult. I told you I don't take this. You made me take it. Now I can't give birth again. I have nice scenarios like that. People who have given birth to their first children and have become deformed, quote and unquote, apologies, because they were forced to do certain push the baby out. So over to me, I will push it. Meanwhile, she wanted a CS. He said no, push. Then now she has
But
pushed
I said,
yeah. I'm listening.
Please, I said the doctor gave me the actual drugs I want. And when I take it, I died at that moment.
Yeah.
My parents have the right to sue the doctor because...
Were you a baby?
No, please.
So if that's the informed consent you are dealing with. You see, if you're a baby there, then your parents take custody. They are accountable for what happened to you. They are responsible for you, just like you take care of your bank account until you are grown. But if you are an adult, depending on the nation, and you decided that, no, I think I want this, not under duress, what have you, then no one can sue the hospital.
If you said yes, then I would say the doctor have to ignore the patient autonomy because he knows what is good for you.
The answer I've given is my view, what I think. But that is why we are discussing, so that you could say, no, but doc, I think that the doctor must be, it should be possible to sue the doctor because of X, Y, Z. Then we have started engaging philosophically.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we should take that. You are so welcome. Let's take two more, okay? God willing, I'll meet the other live session. I will meet the other groups Tuesday and what have you for the live session this week. So if you think that you want to pass through, you can. It's not problematic, but I will give priority to them. Okay. Rahel, give me your comment. Then I'll skip Janet and Joseph. Now everybody's waiting for me. You'll close.
Okay.
The children are closed.
Hello, Dr. Miles.
Yes, my dear sister Rahel.
Please, my name is Rachel.
Rachel, oh, okay. Sorry, Rachel. Rachel, go ahead, Rachel.
Okay, so my question is, what if a young philosopher politely questions an elderly person on why he or she keeps on beating up his or her child for every little thing he does, and without even correcting the child for it? Maybe I've corrected you, next time when you do it again, I'm going to discipline you. And the elderly person gets offended by your question and starts creating a scene that you don't respect him. Doesn't mean that the young philosopher should quit acting such philosophical to the elderly.
Philosophers, I'll answer in just a simple statement. Philosophers it's like the higher you go, the cooler you become. The more seasoned you are philosophically, the less aggressive you are. You make your point without any aggression. So you can correct people, you can indicate that this is not acceptable without sounding offensive. It is someone who is not philosophically inclined that will correct by offending. Yeah. Okay. So we will improve. This is just level 100. You will go ahead. When you advance, you will see the Kwame Jechis of blessed memory, the Socrates, the great men and women. who are deep philosophically. They don't make noise. It's empty barrels that make the most noise. They're all over the place. Okay. My dear friends, now we got our video to be 2 hours, but it is interaction. So those who are interested, I'll record it, I'll upload. Hopefully by morning you would have seen it. Okay, because I'm going to do other sessions now. Then you can engage it. Bring me all your questions. Janet, sorry, you have spoken already. You can send them to me personally. I will respond to them. So please kindly engage the course outline. Then those who have the materials, read it, study the next topic. We're going to do business ethics. I'll send you a video, and then it is on deontology versus consequentialism. I'll look at all your chats. If I have to put them together and give a general response to some of them, I'm glad to. I wish you well. Have a wonderful week. All the best.